Difference between spot news and breaking news. Difference between spot news and breaking news. News is an account of a current event given by a journalist and published or aired through a medium. News could be spot news or breaking news. They sound like they have the same meaning, but there is a thin line dividing them. Breaking news is a sudden occurrence which often is being reported as it is happening. Oftentimes, details are sketchy. Breaking news is reported to alert the public of an unfolding event. Follow-up reports could come later. Breaking news is an event that is just taking place or has just taken place and it is fresh. It may not be exclusive, but it is fresh, it is happening, and it is being given as it is. That is why most times you find that breaking news occurs with the broadcast media and of course all the internet news platforms. Breaking news is reported as it is happening, as it is unfolding. It is the freshest of news. Breaking news is the freshest of news. Mark that word, freshest of news. Examples of breaking news. A bloody fight has broken out between two factions of Road Transport Workers Union. Gunshots are heard as people are currently running helter-skelter. So in this story, you would notice that the event is still happening. It is unfolding and the reporter is letting the audience know what is happening. That is breaking news. A bloody fight has broken out between two factions of Road Transport Workers Union. Gunshots are being heard and people are currently running from the scene. The reporter who is giving the live event or maybe is reporting the event could still say smoke could be seen coming out from houses that seem to have been touched in the process of the fight. So it's breaking. It's still happening. Look at this next example. A prominent politician has died in the hospital. Doctors just made the announcement and said it was due to a brief illness. Details will follow later. This is breaking news. The politician just died and it is still fresh, the freshest of stories. And that is why it is breaking news. Now let's look at spot news. The spot news is an account of an event even hours after the incident has occurred. It could be breaking news or a report of an incident either witnessed by a reporter or the reporter arrived at the scene after the incident had occurred. So you see, not all spot news events are breaking news because the spot news has longer time span to be covered. The spot news does not have to do with only the time or the freshness of the event, but the fact that the reporter gave the account based on evidence from the spot of the event, based on occurrences that took place at the spot of the event. That is why they call it spot news. So you see, breaking news could be spot news, but not all spot news stories are breaking news stories. Spot news is not always as sudden as breaking news. It is called spot news because it is based on what has happened. The reporter was at the spot of the incident or reported on the spot. He was there when the event happened. Let's look at examples of spot news stories. Examples of spot news stories could be about accidents, robberies, political rallies, or such incidents which the reporter got facts from the spot of the occurrence and eyewitness accounts on the incident. Using the same examples that we used to explain the meaning of breaking news, let's look at example of spot news. Two factions of Road Transport Workers Union clashed this morning over struggle for who controls the motor parks in the state. You can see that the story did not come while it was unfolding, but it is still spot news because the reporter is giving an account of an incident that just took place. Look at this next one. A prominent politician, names withheld, died early this morning after a brief illness. The politician, who was a former member of the House of Representatives, had returned from India last month, where he spent 3 months in the hospital over an undisclosed illness. You can see that details are now being added this time because the spot news has longer lifespan. It gives the reporter enough time to look for more details to add to the story, to add flesh to the story. So you can see that while in the breaking news, the story was released because it just came out and the reporter had to let the public know that's breaking news. Without that, it was sketchy that first time. But as spot news, you still have enough time to get facts to add to the story while still reporting the event as it occurred. The fact is, both sport news and breaking news are current events. The only thing is that the breaking news is hotter than the sport news. It is fresher than the sport news. Whereas some sport news events could also be breaking news events. Breaking news is hotter, it is quicker, it is fresher than the sport news story.